I gotta op in my optics. Bitches don't be rockin' how we be rockin'. Bitches be doing all that talking until we walkin'. Pass out clips like Stockton. I got an option, play the right moves, so I ain't got problems. I wasn't good at mathematics, but I know just how to solve it, yeah. Bitch want problems, then we rockin'. Ain't no hoeing me, watch how you talkin'. I'm watching your wrist, bitch that you look like a lick. Hi bitches, what's good? It's Janae. I'm back with another video. Today's video is going to be about a topic that I have wanted to make a full video on for a very long time, and that is why and how Blaire White is in fact transphobic. Now, she says this a lot that, oh, how the fuck can I be transphobic if I'm trans? Well, that's simply just not the case. Just because you're part of a minority group or a discriminated against group, that does not mean that you can't be discriminatory towards that group or have biases against or towards that group. If you've ever seen the show Boondocks, then you know that Uncle Ruckus is in fact racist, even though he's black. And I know that's a cartoon character, but there are real world examples that I know of, but I don't know off the top of my head, and I'm not in the mood to do a whole bunch of research. I don't do those sort of videos. This is really just my opinions and shit and how I interpret shit. So yeah, but there's real life cases of people that act just like Uncle Ruckus. And I think this is a good way to explain it, because I call Blaire the Uncle Ruckus of the trans community. Now, you might be asking yourself, okay, Janae, that makes sense, but how does this apply to Blaire White? And if we just start by honestly just going to her channel and scrolling down, looking at a few of her videos, you'll see that there's a common theme, and that's a negative connotation with trans people. She doesn't talk about anything positive or uplifting, or she doesn't fight for anything in the community. All she does is say, hey, look at all these fucking weird trans people, aren't they fucking weird? And that's really damaging to our image, and it appeals to transphobic people. Now, if you are transphobic and you have this image of a trans woman as a man in a dress, a man trying to be a woman, or a man who's faking being a woman to be a predator, then you would be a fan of Blaire White, because that's all her content is, and that's what appeals to you, and that's going to reaffirm your belief of what you think trans people are. And since it's being done by a trans woman, you feel valid to do that. It's if you listen to a black commentator who's saying, oh, all these other black people are in the street murdering people and robbing people and shit, and you have that belief on black people, you're gonna listen to that shit because it affirms your belief, and those are fucking racist beliefs. It doesn't matter if the person that's talking about it is from that discriminated against group. The people that listen to it, that hold those beliefs, that aren't from those groups, are actually transphobic. They're actually fucking racist. And that's the damaging issue with Blaire's content. Now, one of my biggest issues is that we're in a constant fight to keep our rights, to gain more rights, to be treated fairly, and for people to really understand what being trans is and things like that. And Blaire has this big platform. I think she's the biggest trans YouTuber besides maybe Gigi Gorgeous. But Gigi Gorgeous makes that more Hollywood blogger sort of content. She doesn't really talk about trans issues. But Blaire has such a big platform, and she uses her platform to really hold us back, especially in the area of trans sports. She is speaking out against that, saying that she doesn't think trans women should be able to play on female teams, which is completely stupid. On my old YouTube channel, I had a video that is now deleted because my whole channel got deleted, where I respond to Blaire's dumbass talking about sports, because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the muscle mass. That's the big difference between male athletes and female athletes. Male athletes have much more muscle mass. It doesn't matter about the bone structure, any of that shit. Yeah, typically men have a bigger, broader bone structure and shit, but that's not always the case. There's plenty of females that actually do have a big bone structure. And I always use Brittany Griner as my example. I'll put a picture of her up right now. She is a WNBA basketball player. She's damn near 7 feet tall, and she's huge. The bitch is huge. You wouldn't even think she's a female. You'd think she's trans, but she's completely cis. So if muscle mass is the only thing that really matters for fairness, then And hormones like fucking change that, right? So like I'm trans, I go on fucking hormones, and then I lose muscle mass. I lose that male muscle mass, and now it's comparable to a cis female. So there's really no reason to say that it's unfair, because it's literally the same shit. Just if they've been on estrogen for like at least a year, like they can play, they're good. The other issue that I've really been kind of upset about is the fact that Blaire has something against trans women who seem to not be able to pass. And I don't understand why. It's probably something to do with her insecurities, but it's really fucked up, because I look at it this way. I don't pass the best, but I do pass. I am gendered as my correct gender like 90% of the time, which is good. But like, what if I didn't? Or like, Blaire, what if you didn't? Like, it's kind of fucked up that you like literally will make fun of like trans people that don't pass and like talk about that. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, grow up. Like, people look how they look. Like, don't judge that shit. The other thing that I wanted to address is that one of the common like things that's thrown at us as trans women is that, oh, we're just trying to be women to be fucking predators and go in the women's bathroom and in women's spaces and to like hurt girls and shit. And she literally fucking reinforces this idea. And that's insane. Like I can't understand how a trans woman would want to reinforce this. She talks about so many fucking trans predators, and like that's all she talks about. Like, oh, this person's a predator. This person's a predator. And then she does this bullshit where she goes, oh, this person might be a predator because of this, which is all assumptions. Her video on Tiffany, the GameStop trans lady, like, that was all assumptions. Like, go back and watch that video. There's no fucking hard evidence, hardcore facts. Like, I've reached out to Tiffany and talked to her and shit, and I've like somewhat known her for a while, and that bitch is like she's chill, and she's a good mom, and like she's a loving fucking person. And it's kind of fucked up that you would take a person that's trying to do nothing but better themselves and be a better person, do well for their family and shit, and you would like call them a predator. That's really fucked up. So yeah, I just thought it was really important to put this information out there, because I don't see a whole lot of people talking about this. I do see it sometimes, but there's just so many fans of Blaire White that I could tell are just such sweet, good, kind-hearted, kindred spirits, and I just hate when I see them like praising Blaire, because it's not the case. Like, she's tricking y'all. Like, she says, oh, like, oh, I'm trans, like, how would I like fucking, you know, be transphobic? Like, you're fucking dumb, bitch. Like, it's obviously like you could still be transphobic. We're not gonna fall for that. Fuck that shit. Anyways, I love y'all bitches. Peace out. Have a great day. It's Janae, bitches. Janae.
Hey, perfect. Yeah, running from the odds, I ain't never gonna stop. Spin a block, spin a block. My name is Young Trish, you know I spin a block on a hater. I'm dark and I'm deep, so call me Mr. Vader. I stay on my grind like a skater. Won't hook up for free, I ain't made it. I always be swagging, but ain't got no tailor. I stay dripping sauces, a whole lot of flavor. I drip D, all white Gucci shoes on my feet. I don't need no worry, I don't need no lamp, cause I roll with the squad, so I think I need a G. Horn go BB, I'm the nigga came from nothing, I was stuck in the street. I was with it since a baby. If you trying to be with me, you gotta be on my team. I done really took an oath, I won't never take a L. If you acting like a O, you disappear like a spell. I'm fast like a cheetah, you slow like a snail. I always be winning, I never do fail. I pop out the beat like a turtle, she turtle no shell. Running from the odds, I ain't never gonna stop. Spin a block, spin a block, spin a block, spin a block. My name is Young Trish, you know I spin a block on a hater. Do bad on my own, I ain't doing no favor. Hey, yo, take off like a seagull, striking out like an eagle. My nigga got a chopper, he holding my back, but I'm toting a deagle. I always be popping, I feel like a weasel. I drip like a fountain, I'm up like a mountain. The money I'm counting is kinda astounding. Yeah, just a little bit, get on the beat and I sound so illiterate, but I be killing it.
Spin the block, I'm catching the op. You fuck with that girl, by her she a fop. If you want problems